Okay, Steve, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Well into pre-season now. Started off at Frome Town away with a narrow win, but it was a good game, wasn't it? Good start of the season. Hot day as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Rightly, yeah.
It was, yeah. No, it was a difficult.
It's always a hot day at the minute.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I mean, to be fair, that was that sort of like A, came too early, and B, against opposition that were decent as well. So it was a tough game all round. I thought we handled ourselves all right. There was lots that we could improve upon. We know that. A lot of players, even from the back end of last year, hadn't played. So it's been a long time since some of them have actually, got on a football field. So yeah, really, I was actually pleased with that. There were far more pluses than there were minuses in that game. So it was certainly a basis for us to build from.
A big strong side as well for him, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I watched them last year in the playoffs. And probably man for man, they were probably the best side in that league. But the one-off playoff games is always difficult, and unfortunately they come up short.
Then we welcomed Brentford beat here, which was a very entertaining game, and a very similar, narrow defeat, but a similar kind of game, wasn't it?
Well, they were excellent, weren't they? I mean,
they were good.
That is what you'd expect of a Premier League under 23 side. Certainly the 11 that they started the game with, every one of them were good footballers. Played the game, and as if they knew the game, knew how to play the game. They didn't look like inexperienced players whatsoever. They knew their jobs. What I liked about them was that they didn't play in the wrong areas. Didn't try and play, shall we say, complete football. It was, if it had to go, it went. And they played in the right areas, and they played what you say is competitive, winning football. So for us, it was a real test. And I thought we did really well. As I said, it's these games are so fragmented for us personality-wise. There's 4 or 5 missing for that one. You're constantly changing the shape, re-evaluating the personnel. But we got a side out. I think we had a flat 11 or 12, I think it was. And we did really well in the game, and we hung in there against a really good side. We had our moments, they had their moments, and it was a really good spectacle. Yeah,
there was no shame in going 3-2 down there, because some definite stars of the future there.
Yeah, they had some really good players.
Then AFC Portchester started with a lot of youngsters there, and it was a bit of a painful 6-2 in the end, wasn't it? Defeat?
Yeah. I mean, look, I people keep on about playing lads from development, playing young lads, playing trialists, and this seemed the perfect opportunity against a Wessex Premier side, a very good one, however, a very good one, and a side probably got the same sort of budget as us. Got some really good players. So yeah, I mean, maybe I didn't expect them to be that good, but you have to give these lads a chance. They played and come on in previous games and came on and played well. So it seemed like the right opportunity to start them. Obviously, it didn't quite work out that way. The goalie struggled up to a point. 1 or 2 of the other lads, but we put 5 or 6 of our first team in there. We had a trialist who's played at Andover for the last 4 years. We had another lad who'd been on trial at Chippenham and played for Stoneham, in Ryan Penny, who's done very well. So there were only a couple of lads, the left winger and the centre half, and obviously the goalkeeper. Everyone else had played at that level and were fine. So it was a bit of an eye opener. Obviously, it felt a little bit like last year, having to play, a team with not a huge amount of balance, 4 or 5 experienced good players, and then mixing it with maybe some who were still learning the game and coming through. So look, it's one of those. If I play people say you played them too early. If I don't play them, they say, well, you haven't given them a chance. So I can't win either way. All I can do is give them the opportunity. If they take it, they take it. If they don't, then we move on. And I, even though we got beat 6-2, still there was things that I learned. There were still players who played and who played, did very well.
Yourself and the players at the learning curve.
Absolutely. I haven't seen those players start. I haven't seen them play at this level. So that needs to be done, and I think it just answered a few questions.
Then we welcomed Havant at Waterlooville, a really good game. Everybody that came, I think, went left here and having enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I mean, obviously we needed a performance after Porchester. We brought players who weren't available for that game. We brought back in, and the ones that were available, we started. Obviously, you still got the Brooks brothers. Josh Wakefield was away. Brandon Goodship was away, and obviously Thompson came off after 18 minutes. So there's 5 big players there. We've got missing, and yet we've more than held our own against what are a team that are expected to do very, very well in the league above. And a team that you probably take 3 or 4 of their players that would take our budget out in one. So that's the sort of opposition, the standard, and the finances you're up against. And I thought we did brilliantly. And
Haven't went on and beat.
They beat Tottenham last night
5-1.
Yeah, they beat Tottenham 5-1 last night. So that just shows that it was a really good performance. I was, as I said, really, really pleased. We fully deserved the draw. And yet again, it's just those small increments of improvement as we keep going.
So you mentioned a few players that weren't available there. Obviously, we're in pre-season, and some of the lads aren't under contract until the season actually starts. So they do have the option to disappear, unfortunately.
Well, no, I mean, I with all due respect, all these lads are good lads. The reasons they have are the reasons that they have. There's weddings, there's holidays. We don't pay pre-season. This is the difference. Like with all due respect, haven't came here and haven't, paying full money pre-season. Yeah. So that's why they've got a full strength squad, and players turn up, because if they don't, then they will lose a week's wages. For us, we haven't got that luxury. So we are, totally dependent on goodwill. So we're a football club where players play pre-season. It costs them money, time, and effort to play for the club. But but they do that, and they do that willingly. So as I said, it is fragmented. It's not ideal. And do you know what? I've spoken to 2 or 3 others, and 2 of the sides in our league do pay pre-season. They don't have the problem, and the other 2 that I spoke to are in the same boat as us. And we've all agreed. It's very unlikely that we will actually probably get the first 11 that we're going to start with until probably maybe the last game of pre-season.
Yeah. It's an expensive way of doing it, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it?
Well, it's just you're paying out far more than you're bringing in.
Yeah. Pre-season,
it's just not, for a club like us, it's not viable.
And the Brooks brothers still recovering. Have they both had operations? Or?
No, Marvin obviously did his PCL, which is quite a serious one at the back of his knee, but he's hit a bit of a brick wall. He's had about 7 or 8 months. It's been a long time, but last night I got him in with a physio over my way. He'd seen the specialist, which I put him in touch with. So we got him with a physio, and he came out of it, and he said, I think his words were, he's a genius or something. I think he'd actually, for the first time, felt like he'd made massive strides. He started to run, which he hasn't been able to do, and the knee just needed loosening up, which is what's happened now, and he's hopefully he's ready to go. Calv had the operation. Unfortunately, he was told, sort of 6 to 8 weeks. That was 6 to 8 weeks ago, and unfortunately did a bit of work on it, and his knee blew up. So he's had to now pull the reins in and stop, and then give himself a little bit more time. So, yeah, we're keeping our fingers crossed that I don't think probably either will be ready for the start of the season, but you'd like to think pretty close to being there around that sort of juncture.
It's one of those where they take the time now, and hopefully they'll last us through the season.
Absolutely, you miss 2 weeks to save 6.
Yeah. So I'm not sure when this video is actually going to go out. So maybe tonight, maybe yesterday, we faced Bemerton Heath Harlequins.
Yeah. It's a good little one. I mean, we've got a decent relationship. We've played in the last couple of years, and it's always a nice one for the local people and to come to. The pitch generally is quite good down there.
A few of our ex-lads down there as
well.
Yeah.
We're not looking for. It's not going to be blood. We're not looking for blood and thunder. They tend to play the game in the right way. We've been to a couple pre-season, and we won't be going back there. That have, it's almost like their FA Cup final, and it's become far too physical. Whereas they tend to do it the right way. Suz knows what he's doing. The players there know it's not. It's not the be all and end all. We just we've got to use it to get match fit and get the minutes into the legs. So that's what we're doing. We're looking for a nice game. good, nice friendly atmosphere, and just a lot of some good local interest, and that suits everyone.
Bit of a test, but a bit of fitness is more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then Saturday we have Sholing FC here, and it's a kids go free match, so get the youngsters along and get
I mean Sholing, I think Porchester, you can revert back to last time we played Sholing, probably, where we started with trialists and kids and stuff like that, and I think we got beat 4-1, I think it was. So and it was the same as Porchester. We put the senior lads on in the last half an hour, and you could see how the game changed against Porchester, and that was the same against Sholing. So hopefully we will. I'm saying hopefully, I'm picking the team, so I should be able to have some sort of influence. But we will be players available, and that we will be a little bit stronger this time against them. And it should be a good game, because they've already rolled over a couple of teams at our level this pre-season, and they did very well last year. So again, a really good test for us.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us, Steve.
Pleasure, mate.
Cheers.